Hello, everyone. Well, first of all, it's today. Right now, it's Tuesday, and it's 11:30 in the morning. And I'm telling you that because normally I film these on Wednesday after I film the song video about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So, yeah, work is kind of slow right now, and they had absolutely nothing for me to do today. So, there'll be work tomorrow, for me at least. So I'm using up a half-day PTO, and so I got to go home. And it's election day, so I've already voted. And then after this, I want to figure out what I'm going to do for lunch. And I have eye appointments at 2:30. I have to get to the bank. So, yeah, all that fun stuff. So I thought, since my parents are out, I'm assuming they're out for their walk. And then I don't know if they're going to vote before or after. So I figure I have time to do my Wednesday video now, and then tomorrow, and then I just have to focus on the song video. So that's that. Okay. Before we get any further, so where is he? Oh, he poked his head. He's right there. Yep, there he is. And there's RC. I mean, Milo. RC is eating Milo's food. Right there. Even though he has the exact same food right here. But for some reason, Milo's food tastes better. I just unlocked Milo's cage door. So he always likes to run in and eat his food, even though he has the same food here. And of course, these guys. Oh, Kiki moved. Now he's there. Okay. Yeah. So I struggled to come up with what to talk about today. And so first, a few bits of news. One, our friend Leon, I got a hold of his wife and asked her, is there anything she can tell us? And basically, he's receiving a lot of care right now, and will be, when he's better, he will be rejoining us. So, happy rejoicing for that. And so, she said I can tell everybody that. And, so, I don't know if he'll watch these videos, but, we definitely miss him. I know I do. Let's see. Yum boxes. So, Chad and family are very busy and with a lot of stuff. And I have 4 boxes sitting over there, and I have another one arriving in about a week or two. So, my parents have graciously agreed. In fact, it was my mom's idea to do at least a couple Yum boxes with me. So my mom, who has refused to be on camera, is agreeing to be on camera for this, so that we can get some of these done. I mean, it's like, as I said, there's food in these with expiration dates. Plus, there's at least 2 of them that are really special that I've been waiting for to do. So So, and I'm kind of thinking that this might be in case this is a long-term thing. I'm thinking about see if I can find a couple friends who might be willing to come on camera and do a yum box with me. So we may be shaking things up a little bit with yum boxes. I hope that's all right with you guys. So please let me know. Please let me know. But I want you to let you know. I just want you guys to know that ahead of time. Let's see. So yum box, Leon. I thought there was another thing. Daisy is almost back to herself. I'm being careful. I'm being extra careful, like getting her off the bed and stuff like that. But she's still on. I'm tapering her off the prednisone. So yeah. Let's see. I don't know if we want to talk about Sunday's song with Jerry Lee Lewis. I think I just wanted to touch base a little bit on that about how I wanted to celebrate the music and the talent and the history and the fact that he was one of our founders, I guess, rock and roll. While not exactly, while kind of ignoring his personal history, because there's a lot of stuff with that's not really celebratory, shall we say. Although I found it interesting. So I learned a lot about this while working on the video. Did you see that? Yeah. He doesn't care. Poopy butt, he doesn't care. But basically, after he got, his string of hits, Great Balls of Fire and a whole lot of shaking going on and so on, he married his 13-year-old second cousin. And once the press found out about that, it almost ruined his career. He was dropped like a hot brick by the record company and his fans and basically everything. I guess he came back, tried to make a comeback in the '60s as a country artist. I'm not sure how far that went. Yeah, and I guess I thought I read that he ended up with he was married like 7 times or something like that. I'm not sure on that. I was looking something up and I found an interview that a major newspaper, I think the New York Times, don't quote me on that, did with the 13-year-old. She's still alive. She's perfectly healthy. So they interviewed her shortly after he died, and so she provided a lot of information. She was like, everybody was all negative on him about him marrying a child. She goes, but really, I was the adult in the relationship and he was the child. And there was a lot of pictures in the article. And she said they would play tag and play games when he was home. When he wasn't home and he was on the road, touring and recording and stuff. 13 years old, 14 years old, she bought the house. She bought, he wanted a Cadillac. She bought the car. Didn't know how to drive, but she did. She told a story how she went to the bank with this big sack of money to deposit into the bank. When they got there, they said that there's an officer outside. He followed you here. He will take you home. Apparently, she drove the Cadillac to the bank, 14 years old, no driver's license. And so then they deposited the money, and then the officer drove her home, like leaving the Cadillac at the bank until someone was, I'm assuming, until somebody with who knew how to drive, could bring it home. And I read that a couple years after the wedding, she gave birth to a son. The son died at age 3. He drowned, unfortunately. And then a few years after that, she gave birth to a daughter. She said that eventually he got into drugs, and then he got mean. And so she ended up, I don't remember, 8-10 years after the wedding, she filed for divorce because of that. So she went on to get married again, and that was a successful marriage. So the end of the article said the interviewer asked her if she could do it again, would she? And at first she said that, she'd probably just tweak a couple things. And then she paused and she says, well, maybe I'd tweak a lot. And then she was like, things like that really shouldn't happen. She had said in the earlier in the interview that, it was what it was. She did what she had to do. She put herself. She was now in this situation, and so, run the household, do what she had to do to, be his wife. So, and I know, so. You can think of that what you want. I just found it very interesting. I'm trying to imagine myself as a 13-year-old, and I don't know if I were able to be capable of anything like that. So what do you think? I'd like to know what your thoughts on that. Yeah. Okay. So what the main thing I want to talk about. So we just passed Halloween, and so Halloween here in Minnesota has a special for those of us who have lived here longer than 35 years or so. So in 1991, there was we all call it the Halloween blizzard. It started snowing Halloween night, and it didn't stop snowing for like 2 days. And by the time it got done, there was over a foot of snow everywhere. People were snowed in their homes, or they were stuck on the road or whatever. And everybody who was here and alive, everybody's got a story to tell of what, where they were and what they were doing. My story is rather boring. I have pictures actually of my jack-o'-lantern, and I might include that here since I got time to edit this. Really? Okay. So I have pictures of what as it started, and the next day I went to leave and I got stuck just up the street, A neighbor had to push me out. I drove back home, and then I stayed in the house until things were plowed and cleaned up. So I want to talk about, there's a print of a painting that hangs on our wall, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to just put up the whole thing on the screen, and then I'll keep talking. I saw this painting at, I was actually at the doctor's office. It was hanging on the wall, and it really struck me. I really liked it. I eventually, a few years later, I tracked it down at a art gallery, and I bought the print, and then I had it framed. It took me, I wasn't making a whole lot of money then, so it took me quite a number of payments to pay for all that, but I'm really glad I did. So I wanted to point out the different parts of the painting that I really enjoy. There's the farm fields that weren't completely harvested yet. I believe I don't think that's corn. Maybe it is. That's in the field. You can see the snowplow coming down the road. And there's a broken power pole. And there. And of course you have the deer. And if you follow the trajectory of the deer's line of vision, you can see that she is looking at the jack-o'-lantern in the window. And then down at the bottom, you can see the artist Les Kuba. He included the snowfall totals around the state of Minnesota. So this has been hanging on our wall for a number of years. Yeah. And then a few years ago, I found out an interesting bit of trivia about this storm. Any of you watched the movie The Perfect Storm? I did. Starring George Clooney. Those of you who live near the East Coast may remember that story. It was a true story of a, help me, it was a fishing or lobster ship, I'm not sure. And they were out in the Atlantic Ocean, and when three storm systems from the east, south, the west, south, and east all converged into perfect storm near where the ship was, and eventually the ship went down, and all on board lost their lives. And so it was, like I said, it was a true story. The movie kind of, I'm told that, and I saw it in a theater. But what I found out actually not that long ago, maybe a couple years ago, was that that happened at the same time as the Halloween blizzard, Halloween megastorm. The painting calls it megastorm. We always say blizzard. And not only did it happen at the same time, they were related. Because those three storms converged, they couldn't go anywhere. The west one couldn't go east, the south one couldn't go north, and the east one couldn't go west. So they were stuck, and which is what sunk the ship, because it couldn't go anywhere either. And so because because that the storm just kept churning out in the ocean, everything else west of it was basically bottlenecked, and all systems also couldn't go, including our storm. And that is why it's that the storm just basically sat there and spun for 3 days and snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed, until finally that kind of dissipated. It finally dissipated and moved on out of there, and then everything else. And I thought it was just, I don't know if any of you who remember all of this, if you knew this, I just thought it was just, this experience that happened to me, this movie that I saw, and that how they were related. So I want to know, did you, did you already know this? Is this new information? So I like to hear what you guys have to say. I'm looking at the time. So, I want to see. He will say, he will wave when I say hi and wave. He'll wave back. I wonder if he'll do it on camera. Oh, he says, I'm getting out of here. Anyway, sometimes when I'll say hi, I'll go like this, then he'll raise his foot. And he's cute that way. Oh, he's thirsty. Yeah. So, that's all I have. That's really all I have to say. So now I have a little more time to edit this. And, oh, he's back. Okay. Let's see if he does this. Hi. 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 Okay, he did. He did the other foot. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Yep, good job. Yep. Hi. Hi. Okay. He did it once. It's hard to see. Okay. Now I gotta figure out lunch. Okay. So, see you all in comments, and have a good rest of your week. Bye.